The two of us embraced, wept, regretted, apologized, all in reciprocity. The bouquet that little Michiru had made wavered sadly in the evening sunlight. Why didn't I realize it sooner? In retrospect, there had been enough warning signs to point towards where things now stood. Even if Michiru can't see, she would never completely lose awareness of little Michiru standing right next to her. It couldn't be true, but it was. Even I could easily forget that little Michiru was standing right there if my focus lapsed for just a moment. Not only that, but all the other maids on the estate, bar DD, had completely forgotten about little Michiru too. Even with all the sadness weighing on my heart, I was certainly moved by the sight of the sky before dawn. The world around us continued to move forward in time, almost as if it were openly declaring its contempt for how we felt. I stared vacantly at the sky above. Once I was certain I had stopped my tears from falling, I turned to face the presence I sensed behind me. Crow broke the silence. Yeah, I think I know what you're about to tell me. And then, little Michiru will... The words stopped in my throat. She would soon return to her original timeline. It was something I understood long before anyone spoke it out loud. But even as the rational part of me understood, the emotional part of me was vehemently trying to reject it. What a terrible shame. Keep it together, Rei! I shook my head to and fro. It's not like she's disappearing. She's just returning to her own time. I had to speak those words aloud to convince myself they were true. A dream, huh? Yeah, that makes sense. All this time had almost felt like a dream. I could say without a hint of hesitation that all the time we'd spent together up until now was the absolute happiest time in all my life. It felt like such a heavenly dream, and that was precisely why I didn't want it to end. What if maybe... No, never mind. I shook my head in bitter resignation. After the watch is mended, maybe if Michiru and I broke the watch like we did the first time, little Michiru would come back. The fact that I had even thought of that question at all was beyond reproach. I couldn't just prevent little Michiru from going home to her own family. For once, Crow openly spoke with a hint of kindness. Was she showing consideration for how I felt? Thanks, Crow. Yeah, I agree. Michiru and little Michiru were grieving too. As the older brother, the man, and the father in this situation, it was my duty to keep my spirits up instead of wallowing in self-pity. I had to do my damnedest to keep their spirits up too. Incidentally, how much time is left until the watch will be completely mended? So just barely enough time until Michiru's birthday then. I wanted us all to smile for her birthday. Not only that, I wanted to see little Michiru off with a smile. Such an important day of celebration was not a day I wanted to taint with sorrow. I can't do that. No matter how many goodbyes I say, parting ways will always have some sadness to it. So all I want to do right now is enjoy what precious little time we have left together to the fullest. Even if all the fun times we'd had together would make me even more reluctant to part with her, the knowledge that we made the most of that time was enough of a consolation. Yeah, that's the idea. I've always spent my time living life to the fullest, so that even if there were moments of sadness, I wouldn't have moments of regret. Only people able to move forward in life can ever truly be happy, right? Soon, the shroud of night fell. I checked again with all the people on the estate, but ultimately, Michiru and I really were the only ones who still remembered little Michiru. Whether it was because we broke the pocket watch together, or because we were directly related to her, we were the only ones who still had awareness of her presence. Michiru was disconsolate. After all, she was scared that she would eventually forget about her as well. The way things used to be, Michiru could still sense little Michiru's presence in spite of her blindness. That sense had now vanished. Perhaps her grief at losing that sense was no less severe than the grief she felt back when she lost her sight. Her words of comfort were like a dagger in my heart. The two of them were constantly holding hands, in order not to forget the other was still there. It wasn't so much that little Michiru wanted to do so, it was more that Michiru felt anxious if they didn't. This really was the first time I had ever seen my sister, normally such a confident, sarcastic young lady, in such a downcast state. I was sad too, but I couldn't let them notice that. In this situation, it was my job to be light-hearted and keep their spirits up. Hey you two, we're going to go have some fun, so there won't be much point to it if you don't cheer up.
そうですね。今日はみちるの行きたいところを全部回るのですから。ありがとう、お父さん、お母さん。
Seeing that smile finally appear on her face soothed my aching heart a little.
でも人がたくさんだと私邪魔にならないかな。
Don't worry, Michiru and I will be with you.
ええ、こうして手をつないでいればぶつかりませんからね。
If we flanked her from both sides, then even if people couldn't see little Michiru, they wouldn't bump into her either. But above all, it would help to quell Michiru's own anxieties. It seemed that rather than choosing to be overly concerned for little Michiru and take her somewhere quiet, taking her to this kind of place was a good idea. The bustling atmosphere lifted little Michiru's spirits. She ran around energetically as always. Oh, is that from the same series as the one you already have?
ミチルが来てすぐに買ったあのぬいぐるみですか?
Yeah, that one. I bought a squirrel for you, Michiru, and I got this bear for little Michiru.
かわいいよね。お母さん、寝るときにギュッて抱きしめてるんだよ。兄様からの贈り物ですからね。兄様を思いながら抱きしめています。
Don't say that out loud. Besides, isn't that squirrel supposed to be a girl?
おや、それは初耳ですね。
It was certainly news to me that Michiru slept while cradling a stuffed animal too. I had never seen her do that before, but I guess she just did that as a substitute for hugging me. Maybe because it couldn't really substitute for me in terms of bodily warmth.
お父さん、お母さん、こっちのライオンさんもかわいいよ。
It is cute. It has a mane, so it must be a boy.
女の子はたてがみがないの?
Yeah, that's right. The girl lions look more like cheetahs.
Cheetah?
I could almost see the confused question mark over little Michiru's head, and that made her look too darn cute. But more importantly, how could I explain to her what a cheetah was?
ミチル、実際に動物園で確認してみましょうか。動物園？行って
What do you think? We are already out and about right now, so should we go there? Since we were doing whatever she wanted to do today, I asked her again to be sure.
行きたいけど、動物園じゃなかったらどこなの？ピクニックをした公園に行こうと思っていました。公園？私公園も好き。
Little Michiru's face lit up with a beaming smile. Maybe she preferred the park over the zoo?
じゃあ、動物園はまた今度。約束ね。
Yeah, let's all go together. It was a promise. I clenched my fists, silently praying to myself that we would have the time to keep that promise.
ライオンさん、見てみたいな。
Little Michiru swung our arms back and forth as we held hands, as if to show off how much fun she was having. Then I noticed her eyes were still fixated on the stuffed lion doll. Little Michiru, if you like it that much, would you like us to buy it?
欲しいけど、そうじゃなくて。ライオンさんね、お母さんの持ってるリスさんの恋人なんだって。つまり、そのライオンを兄様が持てば、私と疑似的な恋人になるということですね。買いましょう。
Jumping to conclusions as always, are we? As if a lion and a squirrel being in love wasn't enough of a surprise to me as it were.
だからね、私じゃなくてお父さんにプレゼントしたいなって思ったの。
Me?
お父さんにはいっぱいもらったからお返しだよ。恋人ならお父さんとお母さんみたいに一緒にいないとかわいそうでしょ。まあ、この子ったら。
Michiru and I weren't actually lovers, but you might be right.
兄様?
I gently shifted my gaze to Michiru. We couldn't make eye contact owing to her blindness, but her cheeks still reddened when she became aware I had my gaze fixed on her. If they like each other, then they have to be together.
いないとね。
Little Michiru watched us with a satisfied smile.
もう、兄様まで。こんなところでプロポーズですか?
I didn't think that far ahead.
わかりました。では、私とミチルから兄様への贈り物として買いましょう。いいの？私も兄様にはお世話になっていますから。兄様、大事にしてくださいね。大事にしてね。
Yeah, of course. I didn't know what to say. I could feel the slightest twinge of moisture in the corners of my eyes, owing to this unexpected sentiment. Just another memory we'd made with little Michiru. Little Michiru was even happier to give the gift than I was to receive it.
嬉しそうですね、兄様。
Huh? Me? Not little Michiru?
ええ、とても嬉しそうな雰囲気が伝わってきますよ。お父さん、ニコニコしてるよ。
So you say. I always enjoy whatever time I spend with you guys, you know?
いつも以上にということですよ。お父さんが喜んでくれて、私も嬉しいよ。
Naturally, seeing little Michiru in such good spirits spread the feeling to me as well. Same here, not just the present, but seeing little Michiru so happy is making me happy too.
私も同じ。あとね、お母さんが嬉しそうだとすっごく嬉しいよ。それではキリがありませんね。
To put it more simply, just being together was enough to make us all happy. Just staying together was enough to make us all happy. But, alas.
あれ、先輩とミチル。その声は、美咲さん？こんなところで奇遇ですね。奇遇ってほどじゃないけど、私の家はこの辺りなんだし。
Little Michiru retreated behind my back out of shyness. It didn't seem like Misaki had noticed her either. Since the maids back home had ceased to acknowledge her and Misaki had just done the same as well, it seemed to frighten her a lot. I knew full well there was nothing to be done about that, but that didn't make it any less painful to see. Even if it was painful, I'd just make little Michiru feel worse if I started to wallow about it now. If I put on a happy face for her, then surely her own happy face would return. By the way, Misaki, I see that you're wearing your uniform. You know it's summer break now, right?
あら、かわいいゆっかりですね。私はそんなにドジっ子じゃないわよ。では、どうして制服なのですか？それは部活かな。
You shouldn't be asking me. Misaki and I had made a promise that her violin hobby would remain a secret between the two of us, and I intended to keep my part of the bargain.
ところで、先輩たちこそこんなところで何してるのよ。
We're on a date.
あら、兄様ったら恥ずかしいなら人前で抱きつくんじゃないわよ。っていうかデートって何よ。知らないのですか？異性と遊びに出かけることですよ。
Of course, I knew two people of the same gender could go on a date as well, but there was no point in mentioning that.
確かに先輩とみちるは異性だけど私が忙しくしてるのにずるいじゃない。
Misaki yelled at us. That made for another child in our lives today.
そう言われましても、今は家族の時間ですから。家族なのか異性なのかはっきりしてよね。両方ですよ。片方だけ切り離すのは無理ですから。
She's right. This time I had to agree with Michiru. More importantly, you're on your way to school, aren't you, Misaki? I'm sorry for holding you up.
大丈夫よ。急いでるわけじゃないから。私の方こそ邪魔しちゃってごめんね。いいえ、邪魔だなんて思っていませんよ。美咲さんとお話しするのも楽しいですから。
Even though little Michiru had been excluded from the conversation, she was still smiling behind my back. That was undoubtedly because we were enjoying ourselves so much. Misaki, on the other hand, furrowed her brow into a troubled expression.
なんか調子狂うわね。私、何か変なことを言いましたか？みちるが変なことを言わなかったからよ。いつものあなたに先輩と一緒にいるのを邪魔してごめんなんて言ったら、全く本当にその通りですねとかお嬢様っぽく笑いながら言ったに決まってるのよ。何様。
Even just the mental image was making Misaki mad.
あら、私そんなキャラではありませんよ。そういうキャラよ。
I think Misaki has a point.
兄様まで。それなのになんだか最近のみちるは大人っぽい気がする。もし私が変わったのなら大人の階段を登ったせいでしょうね。登っちゃったの？
Not in a sexual way.
分かってるわよ。みちるちゃんの面倒見てるからでしょ。年下の子の世話をするのは大変だけど一緒にいると楽しいもんね。私は遠くから見てただけだったけどみちるに似て可愛かったわよね。そうですね。本当に可愛い子です。楽しくて毎日が幸せですよ。
Yeah, Michiru was right. Every day truly was bliss, absolutely, and I didn't want the feeling to end.
そっか、私も一緒に遊んでみたいななんて。
Why don't you then? I'm sure she'd be overjoyed.
そうですね。ぜひ遊びに来てください。楽しみにしてるね。それじゃあ2人ともまたね。また会おうね、みさき。
When Misaki waved goodbye to us, little Michiru joined us in waving back to her. Even when people couldn't see little Michiru anymore, she was still in their thoughts. That alone gave me a feeling of salvation.